and welcome to this final episode of 88 Blue, a program about WLC Warriors leading from a Christian perspective. I'm your host, Brittany Peterson. On this episode, Hey, what's going on?
On this episode, I'll give you some info on the web, and you'll get to know yet another one of WLC's dedicated servant leaders. And you'll get a behind-the-scenes look here at 88 Blue. Oh, you want me to look over there? Oh, okay. First, I'm going to find out more about this thing called the web that I recently heard about. Let's go!
I'm Danielle Willis, and I'm the Secretary of Web and also the interim president and the student activities representative on Senate.
And I'm Barb Westness. I'm the advisor.
The Web is the Warrior Events Board, and we plan all campus activities for students. So on campus, off campus, weekday, weekends, that's what we do.
It's really an organization that all students can be a part of. There's an exec board, but they all have a committee. So the goal of the Web is really to support all things Warriors. So they're at sporting events, choir, band, fine arts gallery openings. The Web tries to be everywhere where students want them to be.
But we get our money from the Student Activity Fund, which is the $100 deposit that each student supplies at the beginning of the year. And for that part, it's all split up amongst the different organizations that Senate supports. But Web gets a huge chunk of that since we are providing so many activities throughout the year, such as Winterfest and the variety show, and then like the smaller weekly activities like Fat Tuesday and Monday Madness. And it allows us to like have bowling for $1. So instead of paying like the $5 that you would normally pay to go bowling, you only have to pay $1. So like the Student Activity Fund pretty much supports what we do for students.
Well, not the kind of web I was expecting, but it was interesting nonetheless. The Warrior Events Board is behind all the events that occur both on and off campus. I wonder if they'll let me help plan an event sometime. Oh, right. So for our next story, we'll talk with one of WLC's awesome faculty members, Professor Mary Hines, who has been teaching here for many years and was happy to share some of her experiences with us.
When I first started teaching, class size was 4 to 5 students and sometimes fewer, and now I'm up to 25 to 30. The front entrance is one thing that has really changed. When I started teaching here, both edges of the driveway were lined with pine trees, and part of my perks, if you will, was a garden down about where the Res Hall, Fisher Hall sits now. So buildings-wise, it has changed. When I started teaching here, Intro to Comm was the only comm course being offered by wasn't a comm department, but being offered by WLC. And I believe latest count, we're up to about 23 courses. I was the only faculty member to begin with. Now we have 7 full-time faculty members. So student numbers have grown. It's been exciting to see this place take off. I started out with COM 101 as the only course I taught. And then Dr. Greenfield said, "What else do you want to teach?" I said, "Small group communication." He said, "Add it." So I created the course. The next year he said, "What other courses should we have?" And I actually taught Introduction to Theater. So I found a mini version of A Christmas Carol. And, of course, the rep downtown was doing major versions of A Christmas Carol. But that was a delightful experience. Steve was Scrooge. And, of course, he has taken it well beyond that. But that was the one. It was a long, long one act, okay, that we did. And it worked because our 4 children were the Cratchit children. And my favorite scene was our son Chad was Tiny Tim. And in the middle of the death scene, he sneezed. And so Steve and I will forever remember that. But yes, that was my one theater directing experience on campus. I had directed high school plays before, but after that, Professor Eager came and she took over the direction of theater, which was a much better choice.
Apparently, this episode marks the end of Season 5 of 88 Blue, so as a special treat, we are going to give you a look at what goes on behind the camera. The process begins with a production meeting, where the 88 Blue team plans out the episode and writes the script. Once a schedule is set, the team collects the footage. They film the interviews and take some B-roll footage, which is footage that shows what is being talked about. For example, this footage of me is A-roll footage. And this is B-roll footage. After all the footage is collected, the team starts the post-production process. Editing is a challenging task that requires a lot of time and hard work, and the team takes it very seriously. When the episode is edited and finalized, it is shared to 88 Blue's YouTube and Facebook pages for the campus and community to view. Not many people seem to know about 88 Blue and what they do, so I would like to ask you to help spread the word. Share the episodes, like the episodes, show them to your friends and relatives. Every little bit helps. All the things that you saw in this episode are tied together to make Wisconsin Lutheran College sort of like a web. Anyway, we've come to the end of this episode, as well as the end of the school year. We'll see you again next year with a new season of 88 Blue, a program about warriors leading from a Christian perspective. Well, I've got to go save some people or something. So, Spider-Man out. See you later.
Oh, hey, Pete. I mean, Spider-Man.
Hey, Tony.